it's Natasha and thank you so much for joining me today. Today is kind of a part 2 video, but it pretty much just is a standalone as well. I did some jelly printing. This is the very short version of what I did, just creating some patterns. And often when I get my jelly plate out, I kind of just go for gold and keep going and going. It's a very easy and addictive little craft to get into, and it often creates a lot of backgrounds and prints, and as I said, it's very easy to just keep going and going and going, and I really enjoy that process. And I tend to not do the jelly printing and the making where I kind of turn it into cards all in one go. I tend to kind of do the printing and then another day come back to do the cards and things, because I really just like the freedom that jelly printing and gel printing in general gives. So this was the process. As I said, this is a shortened version, and I don't go into it too much because honestly it's pretty repetitive. There are lots and lots of videos on YouTube how to do this. You can create amazing things, and these are the 3 cards that I created in my first video on this. These were all drawn freehand. In fact, they were just cut with scissors. They are unbelievably easy. You can create these with no dies, no stamps. Very easy little gift set to create. But today I wanted to show you kind of the same style but different versions of these cards. So I have this pile here that I'm now going to kind of work through for the next little bit. It sits on my desk, and I want to kind of make a conscious effort to keep using this little stash. So here I just get a piece of paper that I kind of like, a print that I like, and then on the back I find it easiest to draw with a little pen the rough shape that I want. I do this if I'm just really not sure of my scissors ability. So I kind of cut a rough shape and then I just pretty much stick to it, but obviously doesn't have to be perfect. And this one is going to turn into a little bird. So no stamps, no dies needed at all. I am going to make a little wing, I guess, for this little birdie, and again I'm using a kind of contrasting color, a little bit different, so it's going to show up nicely there. This is kind of reminds me of like patchwork or putting together lots of prints and colors. I really like that idea. I decided to just draw in a little eye for the bird, just nice and quickly, nothing special. And then this bird is actually going to change shape soon because it just didn't quite sit right with me. But what I did decide to do is add some black lines, just really rough and really quick. And I just did kind of sketchy lines, so there's a few little lines. You definitely don't have to do this. I didn't do this on my previous video where I created the fruit, and that gives a different kind of look. But if you want to, this is just another option, and it just adds another kind of look to it. So I'm going to pop his little wing on there, and then this is where I'm looking at him and he just doesn't sit right. So off his head goes. And even though I've done the black lines, because they're nice and sketchy, I'm able to just kind of fill it in and we're away laughing again. So there's my new little shaped birdie. Now this is going to be a really short video, but at the end of this I'm going to show you 3 cards I created more so in this kind of version, or this kind of look for the cards. And the great thing about this technique is that it really takes very little supplies. I mean, obviously you can do your gel printing and the gel plates. They are not too expensive. They're definitely something that you kind of choose to purchase and need to have a think about, but they are, some of them are a reasonable price. The one that I used for this was just a 5x7 jelly plate, and I really like that one. It's a great size, and it kind of just means I kind of don't end up with a whole lot of one color or one print. So I quite like that size. Out of the brown here, I created a little branch for my bird to sit on. I'm going to create kind of a whole picture here, and as I said, this is no stamps, no dies, and even if you think you are not an artist, which I don't claim to be anything special at all, but this is just me kind of giving it my best shot, and I mean, people are going to know exactly what this is. It's not exactly beautiful looking, but I think that's just the whole style of the card. It's kind of very loose and very easy. I'm drawing on his little feet, little toes, so that I don't have to do any fussy cutting or anything like that. Pop him up on some foam dots, and then that just gives the card a little bit of dimension. The panel that I'm popping him onto is a 3 3/4 by 5 inches, and this will just mean that I have A, less space to cover, and B, it means that I can have a really nice border around it when I pop it down onto my 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch card base. As I mentioned earlier on, there are not a lot of products that you need. There are not a lot of supplies that you need. This is really pretty minimal, except for a good pair of scissors and some glue or some foam dots, and you're away laughing. It's really, really fun and very freeing. So as I said, I'll show you more versions of this at the end where I did not birds, just different shapes and things that you can create, and your opportunities are endless. I will leave links to any of the supplies that I did use today or that are similar down in the description box below this video. And if you are inspired by these videos, then I would love it if you came across to our Facebook page. It is a fantastic place where you can share your makes and creates that were inspired by any of my videos, and that way I'm able to see them and I can kind of see what you are creating. So I love being able to interact with everybody and chat away. So if you would like to join that, then I will leave a link down in the description box below the video too, or you can just search Come Crafting with Natasha on Facebook and you'll be able to find it there. So I did add some little black lines around the edge of my card. I've popped it down onto my card base. I added a little cloud up the top, and I also added some little leaves onto my branch, just a couple. They're just kind of token leaves for a little bit of extra color there. I've got this little eye, which I'm just trying to make into a happier eye. And then here's the one that we created today. There's a much more simple version, and again, cute little birdie, and then a gorgeous little flower, which I just really cut out those little flower petals, a round circle, 2 little leaves and a stem, and we are done. So really simple but really fun cards that you can create. Here are the 3 that we created in the first video, and I will leave a link to that video in the description box as well. Leave me a comment down below and let me know if you have tried this kind of style, if you like free cutting with scissors and just creating your own cards in your own style. I would love to see what you get up to if you are able to post on our Facebook page. But other than that, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks, bye!